in touch with sources close to this investigation. Tony, good to have you here tonight. Obviously, this is heating up, and they were basically combing through his apartment complex. They thought he lived in apartment number 9. He used to hang out there a lot. It was apartment number 1 where he actually lived. What's going on here?
Well, look, I think the details are slowly coming together and showing a picture which we've speculated on, but now it's being shown to be true. Look, Trace was completely correct. This individual essentially had a number of indicators that were observable. He was behaving in a peculiar manner that was not typical. Running a truck and not doing anything with it is clearly an indicator. The other thing we have to remember, Martha, just for your audience to kind of think about the big picture, Al-Qaeda proposed this sort of vector of attacks back in 2010. ISIS perfected this. There's been 8 of these. And again, there's a pattern that should be examined and looked for leading up to one of these. And the other piece of this which we have to accept is this individual was on the scope of radar of law enforcement back in 2015. So when you look at all these things out there, these pieces now coming together that form this clear picture, it indicates that there should have been some level of warning. I don't buy for a minute, Martha, that his wife didn't know anything. And the other thing, too, about this mosque in Paterson, New Jersey. I've heard multiple politicians, the Governor Cuomo and others say, you know, this is a lone wolf. This is not a lone wolf. This is now a pattern that's been tried and true by ISIS. And, you know, while he doesn't have maybe a formal support network, the very mosque he was attending is the place where I suspect he was radicalized. And one of the things notable, other folks have talked about the fact that the NYPD had a program to monitor these mosques for people being radicalized, and that was turned off. So these are all the things that we're now coming together to show this clearly was preventable by the fact this guy was on the radar.
Yeah. In terms of all great points. In terms of the weapons that he had these fake, you know, paintball gun and something else in his hand. He had knives in a bag in the back, which he apparently couldn't reach, thank goodness. What do you make of all that?
Well, look, these guns, one of the guns looked completely real. The Crossman pellet gun looked like a real weapon. And this is one of those situations, Martha, where I don't know if people have talked about it a great deal. Every single NYPD police officer has some level of counterterrorism training. This is necessary. And so these guys are trained to detect and react rapidly. So they did the right thing. When they saw this guy running around with what looked like weapons, they did the right thing and shot him. And what's notable, which is good, you know, they don't shoot to kill, they shoot to put him down, shoot center mass. They put him down and he lived. So the good news is I think we're going to be able to find out a lot more about how he was radicalized, who he was in contact with. But the weapons, clearly, he wanted to be suicide by cop. He wanted to be shot. He wanted to be killed. He wanted to be martyred. And I think it's good that they prevented him from being a martyr.
You know, I mean, as you pointed out, he was bubbling up in little ways on the radar. Yes. And you think about this neighbor who said that he thought it was weird that he had a rented truck that just sat there for a week. He said, who does that?
Big indicator.
So all of these things, big indicator. So if you see something, say something.
Yes, ma'am.
And we need to have our law enforcement be able to talk to each other and not have fear of recrimination for it.
And get past all the political correct stuff.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.